Imagine my surprise. Just imagine my surprise when I saw that ratings for the annual disaster known as the NBA All-Star Game were atrocious, abysmal, embarrassing, humiliating, horrific, disastrous, appalling, horrifying, awful. The one thing these ratings weren't were surprising, because everyone knew going into this disaster that the NBA would set record low ratings for the All-Star Game again. But KC, these weren't record lows. It was just the second least watched All-Star Game in NBA history. Yeah, that's only because they have found a new way to polish the turd by including 100% of out-of-home viewership. Last year, with only 67% of out-of-home viewership included, the All-Star Game drew 5.4 million viewers. Somehow, even with 100% included, the NBA still failed to eclipse that number. Once you remove the polish from this turd, the 2025 All-Star Game, it was the least watched in the history of the NBA. Do I even need to sit here and explain why? Do I really need to explain why no one was interested in watching this garbage? I know the reason. It's because LeBron James didn't participate. He was hungover from Saturday night nursing the bruised caboose. Yeah, it was rather convenient that hours before the game started, LeBron announces that he has a boo-boo on his ankle and he won't be able to play. My inside sources, they are telling me that LeBron recommended that his spawn take his spot. NBA officials, they were even interested in giving Bronny the opportunity. Hell, they needed someone on the court that gave people a reason to watch. But when Bronny failed to make a single layup during pregame warm-ups, they decided against it. I don't know about you guys, but I would have been more entertained watching Bronny James attempt to make free throws. That would have been better than what the NBA presented to us on Sunday night. That presentation, it was amateur hour. It was a disaster from start to finish. The broadcast for the All-Star Game, it was over 3 hours. 3 hours of airtime on TNT, and the NBA presented a grand total of 42 minutes of actual basketball, if you can call what they presented basketball. I have been more entertained watching my 7-year-old nephew in his basketball league, where both teams combined to score 10 points. Listen to this rundown of the presentation Sunday night. The NBA presented a 30-minute introduction, including commercials. Pre-game talk between the legends on Inside the NBA and Captain Doofus Draymond Green, it took 10 minutes. 40 minutes into the broadcast, we were finally given 12 minutes of basketball when Team Kenny pretended to compete against Team Chucky. After that, we were presented with the Mr. Beast Challenge, which featured some dude who looked like a giant kitten calling himself Beast. That was 5 minutes of time wasted. Next up was the highlight of the night, which was Team Shaq versus the Rising Stars. The Rising Stars was the only group that actually took the game seriously. If Adam Silver were smart, he would have found a way to fix that game so the Rising Stars won. Hell, the NBA is already accused of fixing games during the regular season. Why not fix a meaningless All-Star game that no one gives a shit about? The best 16 minutes of the night. It was followed by a 6-minute musical performance from Bay Area legends Too Short and E40. Now, I actually liked the performance until it was ruined by some unknown lady who calls herself Sawweedy. The next 9 minutes consisted of Kevin Hart eulogizing Inside the NBA, even though Inside the NBA isn't going anywhere. 14 minutes for the final game, 6-minute post-game show, 22-minute outro. There were 42 minutes of actual basketball, 80 minutes of commercials. Is it any wonder why the All-Star Game set record low ratings? Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. This morning on the second channel, we talked about Hell, I forgot what we talked about this morning, but I can promise you, I can guarantee you, whatever I covered on the second channel this morning, it was significantly more entertaining than the All-Star game. So head over to the second channel and subscribe. I understand now why the NBA was so hesitant to release these ratings. Last week, ratings for the Super Bowl, they were available within 36 hours. It took the NBA almost 72 hours to release the ratings for the All-Star game. It's not hard to figure out why. These ratings suck. With out-of-home viewership included, with the NBA having a monumental advantage over every previous iteration of the All-Star game, they only managed to draw 4.7 million viewers. Like I said, record low, down 13% compared to last year, which was also a near record low. The All-Star game just barely, I mean barely, beat the NHL. USA-Canada in the NHL, 4.4 million viewers on Saturday night, which dominated the shitty skills competition and the dunk contest that the NBA presented, which only drew 3.4 million, down 26% compared to last year, and the least watched skills competition in the last 25 years. Coming out of the All-Star break, ratings are down 5% in the NBA. Now, of course, Adam Silver, he's not worried about this. The league just signed a new broadcast deal last year that carries them through the next 11 years. But if I'm Adam Silver, I would be worried about my job. How long are NBA owners going to tolerate this? Hell, how long are the networks going to tolerate it? How is this sustainable? How long can you tolerate a league that is desperate for leadership? Last week, I told you guys about Adam Silver begging players to compete in the All-Star game. I told you about Alice begging players to take it seriously. How'd that work out? The entire broadcast Sunday was a complete joke. It reminded me of late night comedy. They kept making jokes, but no one was laughing. Draymond Green said that the All-Star game sucked, which it did. JJ Redick admitted that he didn't watch that shit. His words, not mine. Sunday night, players were visibly frustrated on the court. Name another league where you see this level of open defiance. Name another league where you see players and coaches this empowered to shit on their own product. I don't see this in the NFL. I don't see it in Major League Baseball, Major League Soccer, the NHL. Name another league where the employees are openly defying the employer. One of the problems right now in the NBA, the players seem to only care about themselves. This has become a me league instead of a team league. Everyone is worried about their brand. They're worried about their image. They're worried about looking good on social media. The players are worried about everything but the league. Instead of Adam Silver addressing the problem, he's busy polishing the turd. Over the weekend, I kept seeing the NBA bragging about their numbers on social media. We are so back! We drew millions of impressions on TikTok. Our Instagram pictures are going viral. Our YouTube shorts are amazing. Our popularity is surging. All-Star Weekend is a huge success. I get so tired of repeating myself. You know who brags about social media impressions? You know who brags about crater-faced teenagers watching them on TikTok? Leagues who don't draw on television. Hell, there were more pimples on the kids' faces who watched the NBA on TikTok than viewers on TNT. Like I said, one of the main problems with this league, players only care about themselves. Think about it. When is the last time you heard of an NBA player being accused of being a ball hog? Kobe, Jordan, Carmelo Anthony, Allen Iverson, at some point in their careers, they were accused of being a ball hog. They were pressured to get their teammates involved. The main reason Phil Jackson was promoted in Chicago was so Michael Jordan was forced to involve his teammates. Today, No one is accused of hogging the ball. If anything, it's encouraged. I can't tell you how many times I have watched NBA games this season, and for 20 seconds of the shot clock, it is one player dribbling the air out of the ball. And I'm not even talking about just the stars. I'm talking about role players, guys like Spencer Dinwiddie. I think NBA owners are fed up. I think NBA owners are finally reaching the point where they have had enough. With this new broadcast deal, NBA players are about to be making $70, $80 million a year. Well, Casey, that's a good thing. They'll try even harder now. Yeah, I don't think team owners feel that way. When you're paying someone $30 million a year, that's one thing. When you're paying $150 million over 5 years, that's one thing. But when you're handing out $500 million contracts, you're looking at everything. More importantly, you're looking at any and every reason not to pay it. Why do you think the Mavs traded Luka Doncic? At $30 million a year, Luka showing up out of shape, that was fine, no big deal. Luka missing training camp, who cares? At $70, $80 million a year, it's a problem. Why do you think the Grizzlies are thinking about trading Ja Morant? Well, that's bullshit. They'll never trade Ja Morant. Watch what happens this summer if the Grizzlies don't make the conference finals. I've been telling you, we are reaching a point where NBA players are making too much money without producing results. There were hundreds, maybe even thousands of empty seats at the All-Star game. Record low ratings. Ratings have been declining in the NBA for the last 12 or 13 years. This league has lost half of its audience, and the players are getting significant raises. You really think NBA owners aren't taking notice? You really think they're not questioning the leadership of Adam Silver? Speaking of Alice, he thinks he has the ultimate solution for the All-Star game. Next year, they are thinking about having a one-on-one tournament. Kyrie versus LeBron, Giannis versus Dame, Steph versus Draymond. Oh my pennies are getting wet. This could be great. I'll be honest with you. This idea could work. It could be captivating television if the players make it worth watching. Well, Casey, the players said they want to do this. Yeah. Well, the players say a lot of things. I'll believe it when I see it. The NBA, they could potentially offer $1 million to the winner of this tournament, which is fine. That's fine, but it just feels unnecessary. Why should NBA players need to be incentivized? Why should they need a bonus to do their job? If your company hosts an event after hours, are you paid extra to be there? Do they give you a bonus for showing up? No. So why should NBA players be given a bonus for showing up to work? This is the problem. Adam Silver is once again catering to the players when he should be standing up to them. But he can't do it. He just can't do it. Adam Silver doesn't have it in him. And that's why I keep saying the problems in the NBA, they are not going to be resolved until you find a real commissioner. Give me your thoughts on this. NBA sets another record low for the All-Star game. Why? Why does the NBA continue to struggle? Ratings are down 5% for the regular season. Will a one-on-one tournament fix the All-Star game? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.